age, you're already scaring them because they don't want to start supervising someone who is their senior, things like that. So you want to be given opportunity to prove your worth. So you don't want anything that, first impression matters. The person will say, this is an old chap, things like that. And then you need statement of purpose, and then you need reference letter as well. I want to say this here because there are some mentors that are here listening to me as well. So when you are writing a recommendation letter for someone who spent almost 7 years doing a first degree, you should be able to explain, because I do that for the people I recommend. I explain the situation in Nigerian public universities, because strike will keep you beyond the 4 years or the 5 years that you are supposed to spend on your degree. And then you are presenting your transcript and somebody is saying, this is supposed to be a 4-year program. How come you spend almost 7 years? Were you failing exams, or what? Were you having receipts and things like that? So I put a sentence to explain. And if you have a 2-1, I praise you for having a 2-1 despite facing disrupted academic programs over the years. I put that explanation just to give, an insight into the background you're coming from, because most of those guys, their understanding of university is what they know. They know that university is a place, it's a global, village. It's a place where things should be done orderly. They don't understand that there's universities where lecturers could close down the university and be at home for 7 to 8 months. They don't understand that, And then I also want to talk about the issue of financial aid. I put fellowships and scholarships here, but I don't want to dwell much on that because you know of such, and that is what you've been looking out for, But there are other opportunities for which you may not see them advertised, You may not see some of those opportunities advertised. People like TWAS, UNESCO, Commonwealth, TED Fund, PTDF can advertise scholarships and you can apply, but you could also go into the departments of some universities, just Google the name, go into the department, go into staff profiles. Some lecturers, under their profile, they advertise that they are looking for postgraduate students. Some will tell you that they have funding, So when you go through universities, some faculties and some departments have different financial aid. And once you are admitted into the faculty, you don't even need to apply for such funding. You automatically, have access to such funding, because they know that as a postgraduate student, you should be made comfortable so that you can deliver good results. So when scholarship is advertised, you have a lot of people applying and there's a lot of competition. You're competing with, if it's an international scholarship, you're competing with a lot of people from Asia, competing with people from North America, you're competing with people from other parts of the world. So it becomes highly competitive. So you must be able to stand out among these several applications to be able to be taken. But when you go through the university website, you look at what they are doing, you identify somebody, and if the faculty has funding or the department has funding. For example, in Canada here, most of the universities, they have funding. And once you are admitted into the department, you automatically benefit from those funding, where your tuition is covered and then you are being paid monthly stipends to take care of your needs. So I put, for example, here, if you want to do like maybe business administration in UBC here, you won't see an advertisement in the media that they have scholarship. But if you go into the website, you will see that they give almost $40,000 if you are doing a PhD in business administration, and tuition is also covered. But this is not advertised under the pages of newspapers. And then if you go into, maybe in Africa, if you go into UCT, if you go into the website, you will see. So if you click here, this should open a website. Yeah, you could see here. So postgraduate degree funding notice board. So if you scroll down, you will see there are a series of bursaries that are advertised. And so you have to be admitted in the university to be able to benefit from those fundings. So there are a series of fundings, and some of them they are meant for citizens alone, but there are still a couple of them that international students can benefit from as well. So when you engage your supervisor, you will know which of these, you can apply for and things like that. So these are not opportunities that are advertised, but as you research, as you go through, different universities' websites and you check their postgraduate and you check for financial aid, you may see opportunities as well. And so talking about the admission, sorry, let me see, what do I have on this slide here now? So yeah. So for applying for visa, I think I still have a little, do I still have time? So for visa application, you will need an offer of admission. You will need a financial statement. You need to prove that you have sufficient funds to cover your studies for the number of years. But if you have a scholarship, your scholarship letter, or if you have funding, if your supervisor promised you some level of funding, you can now use that to support your visa application. So what I did was that I got admission for my wife through the process of just going through departmental website to check if there is funding available. So I wrote somebody and this person says, talk to this person. I believe she has funding. And when I sent her a message, she said, yes, contact me by this time next year. I should have funding available for, for people studying who are willing to do reproductive health under sociology. So we got funding about 120,000 rand, which was going to be paid 10,000 rand per month. If you convert that now, it's about 800,000 naira with the current exchange rate. But fortunately, she was not given visa because South Africa doesn't just value marriage. So eventually, they said she must go back to Nigeria to apply for study permit. And we didn't see that as a wise decision. So she couldn't get that. But that may also help because if you have an offer, that may become the proof of funds that you will show. And you will need a police medical report. And then you will need to apply online. If you don't want to go through an agent, I have never gone through an agent to apply for visa, but I've got series of visas, but I've never used an agent. I do it online by myself. Then if it's a country that requires you to write proficiency test, you should be able to do that as well. So this is all I have for now because I was told